Shalom, call halal Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Lakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, trying to get it right. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And once again, our required reading as a camp has been Exodus, just to get the minds prepared for this very solemn assembly that we're all about to worship and take part in, the Passover. All right, and this is a beautiful time and a scary time, because we're literally doing this to see that death would pass us over, and that's what was going over. That was what was going on in the past. There's nothing new under the sun. So I decided to read a couple scriptures in Exodus first chapter again, just to go into about seed line and houses. And when it's talking often, when the Lord's house is the nation of Israel, which is talking about a seed line, a race of people, the heritage. All right, which is through the male. All right, which is through the men, not the women. Not to discount. We do love our Israelite sisters, and we really look forward to the new world to come, that our women will be with us and be back in order, the way they're supposed to be. But the truth be said, you don't need an Israelite woman to make a woman to make an Israelite. Anyone who says that has no business teaching, because that's not the truth. All right, and there are plenty of evidences in the Bible and instances where Israelites had strange women and their children were still Israelites. Now, are you authorized to go out and do that? No, you're not really supposed to do that. But that's besides the point. The point is that in the event that does happen, those children are still Israelites, because you're going to have people come with all the stupid opinions, and that's not going to, you can't get around the fact that if your father's an Israelite, it doesn't matter if your mother's an Israelite. If your father's an Israelite, you are. All right. We got scattered to the four corners of the earth, and in a lot of cases, our men had no other women to deal with but the heathen women, as did our women were forced to deal with the heathen men. Now, those women, their children are tares. All right, but those men that dealt with those heathens, their children are Israelites. That being the difference. Okay, so now that I got that out the way, let me begin to read. I'm gonna start at verse 15, and it says, "And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shipra, and the name of the other was Puah. And he said, When ye do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew women, see them upon the stools. If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live." Why? Because he wants those girls to raise up so they can be servants, concubines, and bed wenches, helpmates unto the Egyptians. Why? Because any children that come from that are Egyptians. That's why he said save the women alive, because a family line, a race of people, doesn't continue through women. It continues through men. Hence the reason why Esau pits the Judite woman especially against the Judite man. All right, or even the women of the Southern Kingdom here in America. They elevate and give opportunity to, and our women, and the majority of our women just don't seem to get that or embrace that or see it, that their men are being held back purposely, and that they're being elevated purposely to create that division. All right, but yet they embrace Esau's way, and then they come down hard and talk a lot of crap and really belittle their own men, their own people, elevating the Edomite system. But Eve has been connected to the serpent since the beginning. All right, and that serpent was a man. All right, and that serpent, those people That was that spirit of Esau that was in that serpent. All right. And that's another lesson if anyone who wants to run their mouth about that. But anyway, it says, but the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men, children alive. All right. So there are still a few righteous women out there. You know, they're out there. Okay. And that will basically, these women right here were some ride or die women. All right. And that's any brother who has one of those, man, you truly have been blessed because, you know, the majority of our women, the first sign of trouble, they out on you or they sleeping with someone else, you know, and that's just the bare ugly truth about the thing. All right. It says, and the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing and have saved the men, children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. So they're saying they bear children quickly. All right. We come in to help them deliver and the babies already be born. So how we going to snatch them out their arms and kill them? You know, if you pulling the baby out, you could do something to the baby and say, oh, the baby didn't make it. You know, but so but the women basically supplanted. That's their spirit of Jacob. They supplanted this king. And verse 20 says, therefore, God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mightily. So, hey, when you women stick by your men, thick and thin through the bad, you know, even in Esau's fake paper marriage, you know, and his contractual marriage, one of the things that they say is for better and worse. Most women don't hang through the worst. As a matter of fact, 80-something% of the divorces are filed by women here in Babylon. All right. And most of them don't hang through for better or worse. Truth be said. All right. Verse 21. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. All right. Houses. Meaning race. They're not talking about. Matter of fact, let's hit the precept for that is Psalms 127 and 1. So let's go to it. Doesn't mean that she got a great big old house because she served the Lord. All right. It means something else. It said, here it is. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except Yahweh keep the city, thy watchman walketh in vain. It is in vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows. For so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are an heritage of Yahweh, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. So we were made a mighty and plenty people. All right. Why? Because those women, you know, they were blessed. So the Lord also blessed them with lots of sons and daughters. All right. To that the Israelites may grow. All right. And then in verse 22, it says, and Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. Why? Let me give you another example biblically. This is the book of Chronicles, 2 Chronicles. All right, 6 and 9. And it reads, well, I start at verse 8, but the point is in 9. But Yahweh said to David, my father, for so as much, it says, for as much as it was thine heart to build an house for my name, thou did well in that was in thine heart. Notwithstanding, thou shalt not build the house, but thy son, which shall come forth out of thy loins, he shall build the house for my name. So what you got to understand is that the man carries the children. All right. The husband means planter. All right. And what does a planter do? A planter is a farmer. What does he? He plants the field. The woman's womb is the field. He plants the seed in the woman. And the woman's job is her body was made to nurture and protect that seed and bring it forth. The same way you plant carrots. And you water it and you take care of it and you keep the birds and the bugs away or whatever. And then that carrot grows up. Or if any fruit or any fruit tree, it's the same thing. That's why it says in the beginning that the fruit or had seed within itself. Man had seed within itself. So the truth of the matter is, you got this dear mama spirit among Jake. All right, I always love my mama, and that dear mama spirit. But the truth is that you didn't come from your mother, you came from your father, and it takes both. All right. So the Lord made a perfect thing. It's not to pit one against the other, but the truth is that any woman could be your mother, but your father, you could have been born a heathen. So if your mother's an Israelite, that's not going to help you if your father is not. You understand? You get the importance of that, the importance of the Israelite man, the importance of the Israelite male, especially in these last days. You have no idea. The Lord said he was going to make us finer than the gold of Euphaz. All right. The man is going to be a cover from very, very horrible things. If a man of the Lord, man. So a lot of these Candace Owen types, these I hate a nigga, these date a white man, go date those type women. They're gonna feel so stupid on the other side, man. And they're going to die the horrible deaths of the sinners, and they're going to regret it. All right? When they see the real men of the Lord get raised up, it's going to be very shameful unto them. But let me read that again. It says, and Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son, that's verse 22, by the way, born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. So when was that? Let's go to the book of Acts, where I believe the prophet Stephen was getting on them. This is when he was giving them the history about what happened to us. This is how you know that another way you know that the whole book of Acts, the 7th chapter, is just another chapter that proves that this whole message was only to the Israelites. Because why would the history of the nation of Israel be relevant to the Gentiles, to the physical Gentiles? Not the Hellenist Israelite foreigners that were living their lives as Gentiles, but the actual Gentiles. This story and this wisdom and this would have no meaning. It wouldn't matter. But this is Acts 7:19, and it says, I started 18. Till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. The same dealt subtly with our kindred, and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast our young into to the end that they might not live. All right, they tried to destroy our houses. All right, the house of this, the house of that, the house of that. We are the house of Israel. All right, not Benjamin Netan, not a Jew. All right, not them. They are not the people of the Lord. As a matter of fact, let me close with this. This is some information that I just keep on the deck for moments like this. This is from the Jewish. From the Encyclopedia Judaica, 1971, volume 10, and chapter 23, and it reads, Edomite Jews began to call themselves Hebrews and Israelites in 1860. That's from their own source. All right. From the Jewish Almanac 1980, it reads, strictly speaking, it is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew or to call a contemporary Jew an Israelite or a Hebrew. Jewish Almanac 1980, page 3. Man, you can't get around this truth. Call halal Yahweh B'Shem Awashai, B'Shem Rakakwadash, Wa Abba Baba, Shalom.